Hey everyone, my name is Anushka and welcome back to our channel Humanities वाले। तो आज के इस वीडियो में हम कवर करेंगे 30 MCQ क्वेश्चंस एंड ये क्वेश्चंस बहुत इंपॉर्टेंट है फ्रॉम द एग्जामिनेशन पॉइंट ऑफ व्यू। और आज का टॉपिक है कोल्ड वॉर एरा एंड द नॉन अलाइनमेंट मूवमेंट। सो लेट्स गेट स्टार्टेड विद द क्वेश्चंस। Okay, so the first question is the end of the Second World War led to the rise of two major centers of power. अब ये बहुत सिंपल क्वेश्चन है बिकॉज द होल चैप्टर इज बेस्ड ऑन द राइवलरी बिटवीन दीज टू सुपर पावर्स। तो इसका आंसर है ऑप्शन बी, यूएसए एंड यूएसएसआर। अब इसमें हमें यूएसएसआर की फुल फॉर्म पता होना बहुत ज़रूरी है एंड द फुल फॉर्म इज यूनियन ऑफ सोवियत सोशलिस्ट रिपब्लिक। तो इसमें बिल्कुल कभी कंफ्यूज मत होना, द डेफिनेशन एंड द फुल फॉर्म आर रियली इंपॉर्टेंट। एंड सेकेंड वर्ल्ड वॉर की जो टाइमलाइन है दैट इज फ्रॉम 1939 टिल 1945। नाउ मूविंग ऑन टू द नेक्स्ट क्वेश्चन। अब यहाँ पर हमें एक डेफिनेशन प्रोवाइडेड है, so let's try to break this definition down. First of all, I will read it and then मैं इसको समझाऊंगी। Dash refer to the competition, the tensions and a series of confrontations between the United States and the Soviet Union backed by their respective allies. अब इसमें हम क्या बात कर रहे हैं कि यूएसए एंड यूएसएसआर के बीच में जो कंपटीशन था एंड दैट वाज एन इंटेंस राइवलरी, और जो टेंशंस थी, कन्फ्रंटेशंस थी, और कन्फ्रंटेशंस किस चीज़ की फॉर्म लेती हैं? एक वॉर की। तो जैसे हमने पढ़ा आगे चैप्टर में भी कोरियन वॉर के बारे में, क्यूबन मिसाइल क्राइसिस के बारे में, तो उसमें हम यही बात कर रहे हैं कि कैसे इन दोनों के बीच में राइवलरी की वजह से काफ़ी ज़्यादा कन्फ्रंटेशंस हुई हैं थ्रू आउट द ईयर्स। तो यहाँ पर इसका आंसर क्या है? सेकेंड ऑप्शन, दैट इज द कोल्ड वॉर एरा, दैट इज द कोल्ड वॉर। एंड अगर एक क्लियर डिस्टिंक्शन के लिए पूछा जाए कि व्हाट इज हॉट वन, व्हाट इज कोल्ड वॉर, तो आपको बताना चाहिए कि हॉट वॉर जो है इट इज़ मोर लाइक अ शूटिंग वॉर। एंड व्हाट डू आई मीन बाय शूटिंग वॉर इज कि इसमें प्रॉपर न्यूक्लियर वेपन्स यूज़ हुए हैं, एटमिक बॉम्ब्स यूज़ हुए हैं, सो एक डिस्ट्रक्शन हुई है। डिस्ट्रक्शन बहुत हॉट एंड कोल्ड वॉर में होती है, बट हॉट वॉर में आप ये मान सकते हो कि सारे लिमिट्स जो हैं इन टर्म्स ऑफ डिस्ट्रक्शन दे आर क्रॉस्ड। बट इन कोल्ड वॉर वो जो इंटेंस राइवलरी है वो हमेशा रहती है, बट या वो कभी भी एक शूटिंग वॉर की फॉर्म नहीं लेती। मूविंग ऑन टू द नेक्स्ट क्वेश्चन। एलाइड फोर्सेज वर लेड बाय द, अब यहाँ पर हम एलाइड फोर्सेज किसकी बात कर रहे हैं? विच वॉर? ऑफ द सेकेंड वर्ल्ड वॉर। तो एक और चीज़ पता होनी चाहिए कि जो सेकेंड वर्ल्ड वॉर था उसमें दो फोर्सेज थी। सो वन वर द एक्सिस पावर एंड द अदर वर द एलाइड पावर्स। तो यहाँ पर जो एलाइड पावर्स थी दे एक्चुअली वन द सेकेंड वर्ल्ड वॉर एंड एक्सिस पावर्स दे लॉस्ट इट। सो यहाँ पर एलाइड पावर्स में कौन कौन आता है? USA, Soviet Union, Britain and France. So again the answer to this question is option B. अब यहाँ पर एक्सिस पावर्स में कौन आता है? अब ये भी आ सकता है, तो इसका आंसर है जर्मनी, इटली एंड जापान। These three were the part of the Axis power and they actually lost the war. The next question is question number 4. Atomic bomb of US on Hiroshima was codenamed what? सो यहाँ पर कोड नेम्स आर वेरी इंपॉर्टेंट। ये तो इतना क्रूशियल है फ्रॉम द एग्जामिनेशन पॉइंट ऑफ व्यू। तो यहाँ पर हिरोशिमा एंड नागासाकी पर बॉम्ब्स डाले गए थे रिस्पेक्टिवली बाय द यूएसए। तो यहाँ पर हिरोशिमा में जो बॉम्ब डाला गया था एटॉमिक बॉम्ब, उसका एक कोड नेम था एंड दैट कोड नेम वाज अगेन ऑप्शन ए, द इट वाज लिटिल बॉय। सो यहाँ पर हम कैसे इसको याद कर सकते हैं? इज दैट बॉय एंड हिरोशिमा, हीरो एंड बॉय को हम एक तरह से इनके कनेक्शन बना सकते हैं। यू कैन कनेक्ट हीरो विद बॉय, सो दैट वे यू विल रिमेंबर द कोड नेम फॉर द नागासाकी पार्ट। और नागासाकी के लिए कोड नेम था फैट मैन। क्वेश्चन नंबर 5, व्हाई डिड द क्रिटिक्स सेड इट वाज अननेसेसरी टू ड्रॉप बॉम्ब्स? तो यहाँ पर ये बता रही है कि जब यूएसए ने ड्रॉप करे थे बॉम्ब्स इन हिरोशिमा एंड नागासाकी, तो यहाँ पर दो व्यूज आए थे। सो देयर वर 2 पॉइंट्स ऑफ व्यू। द फर्स्ट वाज फ्रॉम द क्रिटिक्स, द वंस हु वर अगेंस्ट इट, जो इसके कम्प्लीटली अगेंस्ट थे, खिलाफ थे, और एक जगह थे हमारे क्रिटिक्स के बाद देर वर सपोर्टर्स जो इसको सपोर्ट करे थे, इस एक्शन को जो यूएसए ने करा था. तो जो क्रिटिक्स थे उनका पॉइंट ऑफ व्यू क्या था? द आंसर टू दिस क्वेश्चन इज दैट जापान वॉज अबाउट टू सरेंडर. दैट इज ऑप्शन बी. कि मतलब क्रिटिक्स का कहना था कि इट वॉज कम्प्लीटली अननेसेसरी, कोई ज़रूरत नहीं थी बॉम्ब्स गिराने की और इतनी ज़्यादा डिस्ट्रक्शन कॉज करने की. मतलब इससे इतनी ज़्यादा लाइव्स जो है लॉस्ट हुई, प्रॉपर्टी डैमेज हुई, तो मतलब इतनी ज़्यादा डिस्ट्रक्शन हुई इसकी वजह से जिसके इफ़ेक्ट्स अभी तक हैं. तो इट वॉज कम्प्लीटली अननेसेसरी. जापान सरेंडर करने ही वाला था तो अपने आप वर्ल्ड वॉर जो था वो एंड हो जाता. देयर वॉज नो नीड टू ड्रॉप द बॉम्ब्स. एंड द वंस जिन्होंने सपोर्ट करा इस एक्शन को, यूएसए के इस एक्शन को, वो उनका पॉइंट ऑफ व्यू क्या था? अगर वो भी 1 मार्क में आ जाए सिमिलरली, तो उनका पॉइंट ऑफ व्यू ये था कि जो वॉर था वो काफ़ी ज़्यादा ड्रैग हो रहा था और उसको क्विकली एंड करना बहुत ज़रूरी था. So I'm writing this down quickly. To quickly end the war, it was important to drop those bombs. Okay. Question number 6. Why didn't war happen during the Cold War? अब war क्यों नहीं हुआ? तो इसका सबसे इम्पॉर्टेंट यहाँ पे थ्योरी आती है, थ्योरी ऑफ डेटरेंस. अब ये बहुत इंपॉर्टेंट थ्योरी है और ये एग्जाम में इसके ऊपर 1 मार्क के क्वेश्चंस बहुत आते हैं जिसमें हम इसकी डेफिनेशन भी कवर करेंगे इसी क्वेश्चन में. सो द आंसर इज ऑप्शन ए, ड्यू टू द थ्योरी ऑफ डेटरेंस. सो यहाँ पर क्या लगा था? एक लॉजिक ऑफ डेटरेंस. अब इसका मतलब क्या था कि जो दोनों सुपर पावर्स थी, यूएसए एंड यूएसएसआर, इन दोनों के पास जो एटमिक और न्यूक्लियर बॉम्ब्स थे वो बहुत ज़्यादा अमाउंट्स में थे. दे हैड एटमिक एंड न्यूक्लियर बॉम्ब्स इन लार्ज अमाउंट्स और ये दोनों एक दूसरे पर इतनी ज़्यादा डिस्ट्रक्शन जो है वो इन्फ्लिक्ट कर सकते थे कि मतलब हम किसी को नहीं बोल सकते कि कोई एक एमर्ज करेगा एज अ विनर, क्योंकि इसकी वजह से इतनी डिस्ट्रक्शन होगी ऑन बोथ द साइड्स. तो उससे कुछ पॉलिटिकली गेन करना उसका कोई फ़ायदा नहीं है जब इतनी डिस्ट्रक्शन हो रही है और इतने लोगों की जान जा रही है इन द वॉर. तो इसलिए कोल्ड वॉर जो है वो हमेशा कोल्ड रहा, इंटेंस रहा, and it never turned into a hot or a shooting war. So the answer is A, logic of deterrence. Okay, moving on to the next question. In which year the leaders of the Union of Soviet Socialist Republics were worried that the United States of America would invade communist-ruled Cuba? So here the year was April 1961. That was the time when the leader of the USSR, whose name was Nikita Khrushchev, he was worried that USA would invade Cuba as it had previously attempted. Question number 8. Who was the president of a small island of nation of the Cuba? So at that time, the president was, just remember the name, okay? It is really important. So the answer to this question is option B, Fidel Castro. वो president थे क्यूबा के उस time during 1961. Question number 9. Who decided to convert Cuba into a Russian base? So it was obviously, as we discussed in the previous questions, that it was Nikita Khrushchev who was the leader of USSR. He decided to convert Cuba into a Russian base by setting up nuclear missiles. So it's option C. Question number 10. After how many weeks USA became aware of missile in Cuba? And this is the question जहाँ पे बहुत लोग confuse हो जाते हैं. Just remember it. It was 3 weeks. Okay, you have to learn it. Okay, there should be no mistake in this particular question. So it's 3 weeks. After 3 weeks, they came to know, the USA, the president John F. Kennedy, he came to know that yes, the missiles were placed in Cuba, and that's when they became aware of the presence. Question number 11. The Western Alliance represent ideology of. So Western Alliance, as we discussed earlier, was headed by USA, and the Western Alliance consisted of Western European nations as well. And the ideology that they represented was option B, liberalism, democracy, and capitalism. So let me explain all the 3 ideologies to you. So liberalism का मतलब क्या होता है? In simple words, it means freedom. That मतलब उनकी आइडियोलॉजी एक ऐसी गवर्नमेंट को रिप्रेजेंट करती थी जिसमें हर किसी को फ्रीडम मिल रही है टू डू वट एवर दे वॉन्ट, अनलेस ऑब्वियसली लाइक unless they break the law, that's a different thing. But yeah, liberalism is all about giving people freedom. Then democracy, we know it's a form of government in which people elect their representatives. There is a fair share of power. And capitalism is really important here. So it's an economic ideology. And to see it from the economic point of view, capitalism का मतलब होता है कि यहाँ पर there is a free flow of economy. And free flow of economy का मतलब होता है कि हर किसी को allowed है to enter the market, to buy and sell the products. मतलब there is a free flow of economy. There is no restrictions whatsoever by the government. Then, question number 12, the Eastern Alliance, again, it was headed by USSR, and it obviously consisted of Eastern European nations. So it represented the ideology of what? So the option is C, socialism and communalism. Communalism, or you may say communism as well. So socialism, the ideology is all about creating an egalitarian society. An egalitarian society means where everybody is equal. So equality prevails there, and freedom is kind of prohibited to a certain extent by the government only. And it's kind of authoritative in nature, not exactly, but in USSR it did take an authoritative turn. और अगर कम्युनलिज्म की बात करें तो इसमें भी यही चीज़ है that there is no free flow of economy. Everything is controlled by the government. So one should know the clear distinction if it comes in the exam about the ideologies. One should be clear that Western Alliance, we have liberalism, democracy, and capitalism, and Eastern Alliance, we have socialism and communalism. Question number 13. Okay, now this is a bit tricky question because here you have to know the years, because without them you cannot arrange them in the chronological order. So let's get started with this question. Okay, so the first event is Korean War, which resulted in the division of Korea. So it happened in 19, so I'm just writing down the years here and then we will arrange it. Okay, so Korean War, it happened from 1950 to 1953. Okay, then signing of the Baghdad Pact. And let me tell you, this particular topic is from the timeline which is given in the book. So just remember that. Okay, so the next is signing of the Baghdad Pact, और ये कब हुआ था? 1955 में. It is really important. Then American intervention in Vietnam. It happened in 1954. So it was from 1954 to 1975. But yeah, USA obviously lost the war, as we also studied in the previous classes. Then Cuban Missile Crisis, इसका मैं पता है, it is 1962. 1961 में, अब ये भी याद रखो कि 1961 में निकिता खुरुश्चेव was worried. उसमें कोई step नहीं लिया था. He was worried about the condition there. And to solve that situation, Cuban Missile Crisis जो हुआ था 1962 में हुआ था, उसके एक साल बाद. So just remember that clear distinction. Then formation of CETO code. When it was formed in 1954. A lot of things happened in 1954. Now let's arrange it in the chronological order. तो सबसे पहले क्या हुआ था? 1950 का क्या है? Korean War. So Korean War we have, it's the first one. Then after 1950, it happened 1950 to 1953. उसके बाद फिर आएगा हमारा formation of CETO code. So 1, then 5. So A, B and D. अगर हम देखेंगे तो C हमने properly eliminate कर दिया. It's not true at all. Then A, B, C में से अब confusion है. So first is Korean War. So we have formed first. Then we have 5th. Then after 1954 it is 2. So we have, which option is left? B. So you don't have to think further. It's 2. Then it's obviously 3. And then it's obviously 4. So answer is option B. 1, 5, 2, 3, 4. Okay, question number 14. Consider the following statements regarding the arms control treaties which have been signed in international arena during the post-Second World War era and choose the incorrect ones. Okay, so the statement is regarding arms control treaties and when they were signed. Okay, about this the information is given in the back. मतलब लास्ट में बिल्कुल चैप्टर के बॉक्स में. और इसमें फर्स्ट स्टेटमेंट क्या है? इट इज रिगार्डिंग LTBT, लिमिटेड टेस्ट बैन treaty. It banned nuclear weapon tests exclusively in atmosphere. अब इस स्टेटमेंट को एनालाइज करते हैं. अगर हम उस वाले पेज में भी देखें कि क्या लिखा हुआ है तो हमें साफ पता लग रहा है, इट इज मेंशन्ड दैट एलटीबीटी में tests were banned in atmosphere, in outer space, and underwater. So if I will just add it, so it was outer space and underwater as well. In teen areas में it was completely banned to carry out the nuclear weapon tests. Second statement is NPT, Nuclear Non-Proliferation Treaty. Let me write the full form as well because it is important. Non-Proliferation Treaty. So it was signed in 1968. Yes, that is true. It was signed on 1 July 1968. So it's true. Okay, next is entered into force in 1970. That is also true in March. So this is also right. And extended indefinitely in 1995. This is also true. So now they're asking that choose the incorrect one or ones. Okay. So I think the answer to this question is option D. Neither one nor two. Okay, both of them are correct. Now you might think that LTBTs में सिर्फ एक ही चीज मेंशन कर रखी है कि एटमॉस्फेयर. So what about outer space and underwater? But जो इस स्टेटमेंट में मेंशनड है, is there anything wrong with the statement? बस उन्होंने एक चीज ऐड नहीं करी. अगर सपोज वो आउटर स्पेस की जगह कुछ और ऐड कर देते, then obviously it would have been wrong and incorrect, right? लेकिन फर्स्ट में साफ क्लियरली मेंशन्ड है कि एक्सक्लूसिवली इन एटमॉस्फेयर, दे हैव नॉट एडेड एनीथिंग फर्दर. लेकिन ये वाली स्टेटमेंट अगर हम देखेंगे, इसको एनालाइज करेंगे, सो इट इज कंप्लीटली करेक्ट. वी एनालाइज द सेकंड स्टेटमेंट एज वेल रिगार्डिंग एनपीटी. तो आंसर क्या आएगा इसका? नाइदर वन नॉर टू. ओके, बोथ आर करेक्ट स्टेटमेंट्स. Question number 15. Who were the three leaders who floated the idea of NAM? Now, obviously, we have Nehru. We already know about him. He was one of the founding fathers. Then we have another person, and he was Tito. So the name is not given full. So let me tell you the name. So he was from Yugoslavia. Okay. So Tito is from Yugoslavia, and then we have the Egyptian leader Gamal Abdel Nasser. So the option is A: Nehru, Tito, and Nasser. Okay, so the full. Okay, so let me tell you the full names as well. So Nehru, obviously Jawaharlal Nehru, and then for Tito it is Joseph Broz Tito, and he was from Yugoslavia. And then Nasser. So the full name is Gamal Abdel Nasser. And again, he was from Egypt. He was an Egyptian leader. So these were the three leaders who founded this. Okay, there was a great friendship between the leaders of these three nations, and they held a meeting, and that's when they decided that yes, okay, we have to form an international organization, NAM. And then they also laid down the objectives, and after that other leaders also joined them, other important leaders as well. So it was Indonesia Sukarno and Ghana's Kwame Nkrumah. So these five were the founding fathers, but yeah, the three people who initially suggested it, who initiated this whole process or the formation of NAM, they were Nehru, Tito, and Nasser. Okay, question number 16. Which of the following statement about the NIEO is false? Now, the full form of NIEO, what is it? It's New International Economic Order. New International Economic Order. Okay, so they're asking which statement is false. Okay, let's read the statements. It is also given in book clearly. First, give the LDCs. LDCs is least developed countries. Okay, they have to be developed, right? So least developed countries give the LDCs control over the natural resources. Yes, that is a correct statement if we will analyze them, because if they will be provided control, अगर उनको control मिल जाएगा अपने resources के ऊपर, then they can use them to their advantage and obviously develop. Okay, option B is obtain access to Western markets. Yes, ये भी करेक्ट स्टेटमेंट है, क्योंकि वेस्ट मार्केट्स में अगर उनको एक्सेस मिलेगा, इसकी वजह से दे कुड सेल देयर प्रोडक्ट्स एंड देन इट वुड लीड टू देयर इकोनॉमिक बेनिफिट्स. Option C is reduce the cost of technology from the Western countries. This is also correct. कि Western countries से जो टेक्नोलॉजी ये import करते हैं, it is really expensive. सो उसका प्राइस रिड्यूस करना ताकि वो उस टेक्नोलॉजी को यूज़ कर सके फॉर देयर डेवलपमेंट विदाउट being in so much debt. So this statement is also correct. Last statement. So obviously it is provide the developed countries with a great role in international economic institutions. No, provide the LDC. So क्या कहते हैं इसके अलावा डेवलप्ड कंट्रीज के अलावा यहाँ पर LDCs अगर होता देन इट वुड हैव बीन करेक्ट. Okay, so yeah, the answer is option D, that this is a statement which is false about NIEO. Okay, so question number 17. Which among the following statements does not reflect the objectives of NAM? Okay, so the first statement is enabling newly decolonized countries to pursue independent policies. So NAM का major objective ही यही था कि जो countries अभी अभी नई नई independent जिन्होंने gain करी है, they have gained their freedom after struggles, after a lot of struggles, they have been freed. तो उनको और भी ज़्यादा choice मिलनी चाहिए to pursue their independent policies in the future as well. So the first statement is correct. B, not joining any military alliances. Yes, they were. It was all about not joining either of the alliances. Okay, so then option number C is following a policy of neutrality on global issues. No, it is an incorrect statement. Then D is focus on elimination of global economic inequalities. Yes, that's the correct statement. Okay, so why option C is incorrect? It is because that neutrality, they actually did not follow this policy. Because neutrality का मतलब क्या होता है कि it's all about staying away from war, being neutral. Now one might think कि NAM का मेन ऑब्जेक्टिव क्या था कि दोनों अलायंसेस को ज्वाइन नहीं करना, दोनों सुपर पावर्स USA एंड USSR को ज्वाइन नहीं करना, बट स्टिल दे प्लेड अ मेजर रोल इन वॉर. कैसे? इनका रोल था एज अ मीडिएटर. Okay, so they played a major role in war. So I'm writing it down. Played a major role in war. ठीक है, and the role was as a mediator. इनका काम ही यही था कि मतलब ये दोनों कंट्रीज के बीच में they tried to maintain peace. मतलब जब तक जितनी इनसे पीस मेंटेन होती थी they tried their best. Okay, so their role was of a mediator. So the answer to this question is option C. Question number 18. Non-alignment is also not neutrality. What does neutrality refer to? Choose the incorrect statement. अब हमने पिछले क्वेश्चन में डिस्कस करा था कि neutrality का मतलब क्या होता है. Neutrality का मतलब होता है the policy of staying out of war. So option A is obviously correct, but you have to choose the incorrect one. Okay, states do not get involved in war. This is also correct. States are not required to help end a war. Correct. States take position on the appropriateness or morality for war. So the option is D, because here they are actually involved in war, which goes against the principle of neutrality. So option D. Question number 19. The event that took place in 1961 was the construction of Berlin Wall. That is the correct answer. So Berlin Wall हमें पता है कैसे construct हुई थी to divide Germany. It was basically a wall which divided Berlin into two parts, so western part and the eastern part. So one part belonged to USSR obviously, and the other part belonged to USA, the Western Alliance, and it divided many people, their families, friends, everything. So it caused and created a great havoc on people. So yeah, Berlin Wall was created in 1961. Option A. 20. In East and Southeast Asia and in West Asia, the United States built an alliance system called dash and dash. The answer is CETO and CENTO. Now, you should know when it was created and obviously what are the full forms. Okay, so the full form for CETO is Southeast Asian Treaty Organization. As you can see, Southeast Asian Treaty Organization, CETO. And CENTO, it is Central. So यहाँ पर ये सेंट्रल कवर हो रहा है, सेंट्रल ट्रीटी ऑर्गेनाइजेशन. और यहाँ पर अगर इसके पीछे का रीजन हमें समझना है कि यूएस ने क्यों ये अलायंस सिस्टम बिल्ड करे थे, तो अलायंस सिस्टम से पता लग रहा है दैट इन सुपर पावर्स का मेन राइवलरी यही थी कि कितने ज़्यादा हम अपने फॉलोअर्स को, सपोर्टर्स को, मतलब हम अपनी अलायंस में ला सकते हैं ताकि हम और पावरफुल हों, क्योंकि जितनी बड़ी अलायंस होगी उतने पावरफुल होंगे ऑब्वियसली. सो इसने सीटो सेंटो इसलिए बनाया यूनाइटेड स्टेट्स ने, जस्ट टू मेक श्योर कि उनका अलायंस सिस्टम और भी ज़्यादा ग्रो करे इन द टुवर्ड्स द एशियन साइड एज वेल, बिकॉज दे न्यू दैट Russia was more towards Asia. Obviously, it is a part of Asia, right? So उनको पता था कि Russia will pose a threat to their domination towards eastern side, towards the Asian side as well. So इसलिए उन्होंने इसी चीज को काउंटर करने के लिए सीटो एंड सेंटो क्रिएट करी. So option C. Question number 21. The Eastern Alliance, known as Dash, was led by the Soviet Union. So, Eastern Alliance, what was the name? It was Warsaw Pact, which was formed to counter the forces of NATO in Europe. And Warsaw Pact was created in 1955. Remember it. The year is very important. Warsaw Pact created in 1955 by Soviet Union. 22. NATO is an association of dash states. Okay, now here also we have a number और इसमें बहुत ज़्यादा confusion होती है. So the answer is 12. Option B, 12. NATO is an association of 12 states. Now they have not been provided obviously in the book, but yeah, you can also search it on the internet. You will get the name of all the 12 states. So NATO is an association of 12 states. Option B. Question number 23. Okay, so now we are talking about the assertion and reasoning questions, and these are very important. So, इनकी now how to attempt these questions, right? So यहाँ पर assertion is मतलब एक statement. They are making a statement, that is an assertion, and reason is that what is the reason behind that statement. So if they're giving a particular statement, okay, so statement is suppose the World War II ended in 1945. Okay, the reason क्या होगा इसका कि जब when USA dropped the bombs on Hiroshima and Nagasaki, atomic bombs, that's when the World War ended, right? So that is a correct statement, right? Okay, assertion is correct, reason is correct, and they correlate with each other. Okay, so ऐसे टाइप के क्वेश्चंस होते हैं, इसमें हमें देखना पड़ता है. सबसे पहले you will see whether assertion is correct or not. So if it is false, तो इसमें यहाँ पे ऑप्शंस आते हैं कि assertion is false, तो हम D ऑप्शन को देखेंगे. If assertion is true, then you will look at option C. And if you will see R is false, then you will look at option C. But if you are seeing, okay, they both are true, तो फिर आप देखोगे इनमें कोई कोरिलेशन बन रहा है नहीं. ओके, करेक्ट एक्सप्लेनेशन है या नहीं. So let's try to solve this whole thing with this question. Okay, so question number 23. Assertion is the consequence of the end of the Second World War was the rise of two new powers on the global stage. Correct. Assertion is completely correct. Second World War end हुआ और दो सुपर पावर्स emerge हुई, USA and USSR. रीजन क्या था इसके पीछे? विद द डिफीट ऑफ जर्मनी एंड जापान, जो एक्सिस पावर्स में आती हैं, द डेवस्टेशन ऑफ यूरोप एंड इन मेनी अदर पार्ट्स ऑफ द वर्ल्ड, द यूनाइटेड स्टेट्स एंड सोवियत यूनियन बिकेम द ग्रेटेस्ट पावर्स इन द वर्ल्ड. इट इज करेक्ट एंड रीजन भी इसका बिल्कुल सही है. Okay, so obviously the answer to this question is both A and R true, and R is the correct explanation of A. Option A. क्योंकि हमने दोनों स्टेटमेंट देख ली, अगर दोनों स्टेटमेंट ही करेक्ट है, सो ऑप्शन C एंड D ये एलिमिनेट हो जाते हैं. तो हमें ऑप्शन ए और बी में से निकालना है कि ये करेक्ट एक्सप्लेनेशन है या नहीं. और जब हमने इसको अच्छे से एनालाइज करा, वी फाउंड इट इज ऑब्वियसली करेक्ट. इट इज द मेन रीजन व्हाई दीज टू पावर्स emerged. So option A is the answer. Next question, 24. Assertion is the Cold War was an outcome of the emergency of the US and USSR as two superpowers rival to each other. True. Then reason is when two rival powers are in possession of nuclear weapons capable of inflicting death and destruction unacceptable to each other, a full-fledged war is unlikely. That's why Cold War happened, right? So इसका आंसर भी obviously A है. Okay, you don't have to think much into this because see, assertion reason is correct, completely correct, because assertion is talking about Cold War, reason is talking about the logic of deterrence. That is why it turned into Cold War. इन्होंने यहाँ पे लॉजिक और डेटरेंस की बात करी और इसी चीज की वजह से तो ये कोल्ड वॉर में रहा. इट डिड नॉट टर्न इनटू हॉट वॉर. ओके, सो द रीजन बिहाइंड दिस असर्शन इज करेक्ट. सो ऑप्शन इज ए. 25th. Assertion is the Cuban Missile Crisis was a high point of what came to be known as the Cold War. True, it is a statement from the book. Reason is the war devastated the world in terms of loss of human lives and civilian property. It did not. It did not. The Cuban Missile Crisis, actually, it was a high point, okay. And the Cold War, they are saying devastated the world. I think The answer to this question, so we have assertion, it is correct, and the reason is also correct, but it is not the correct explanation of this assertion. Okay, so the option is B. It is talking about Cuban Missile Crisis, but Cuban Missile Crisis means there was no destruction, everything was settled before anything could happen. Then question number 26, assertion. Economic development was also vital for the independence of new countries. True, we studied it in NIEO topic. So reason is without sustained development, a country should not be truly free. It would remain dependent on the richer countries, including the colonial powers from which political freedom had been achieved. Yes, that is true. So assertion is correct, reason is correct, and yes, ऑप्शन इज ए बोथ आर ट्रू एंड आर इज अ करेक्ट एक्सप्लेनेशन क्योंकि इसमें क्या बोल रहे हैं असर्शन है कि इकोनॉमिक डेवलपमेंट इंपॉर्टेंट है रीजन क्या है उसका इकोनॉमिक डेवलपमेंट क्यों इंपॉर्टेंट है क्योंकि ताकि उनको प्रिवेंट करे फ्रॉम गेटिंग डिपेंडेंट ऑन द फॉरेन पावर्स और कॉलोनियल पावर्स क्योंकि फिर क्या फ़ायदा है इस इंडिपेंडेंस को गेन करने का आफ्टर अ लॉट ऑफ फ्रीडम स्ट्रगल्स ओके सो टू सस्टेन एक सस्टेन डेवलपमेंट इज रियली इंपॉर्टेंट फॉर द न्यूली इंडिपेंडेंट नेशंस. Question number 27. Assertion is the Cold War was neither a war or an armed military conflict, nor a condition of peace. It was rather a state of uneasy peace. There was peace in terms of कि भाई nuclear weapons were not used. But uneasy means it was intense. Rivalry still existed. So that's why uneasy peace. Two contrasting words are used. Reason क्या है इसका? The Cold War was not being fought by clever moves, propagandist activities and diplomatic conflicts. It was actually being fought by that. It was all about that because it did not involve the weapons, so it involved such propagandist activities. And here we will talk about like Iron Curtain and ideological differences. Okay, so assertion is correct, but the reason is not correct. So the answer is A is correct and the reason is incorrect. So option D. Next. Okay, now we have a passage based question. Okay, so 28, 29, and 30. These three will be the passage based questions. So let's read them and try to analyze them. So I will just read the passage really quickly. You can also pause the video if you want to read it. Like, आराम से अगर read करना है, but I will read it really quickly. Okay. Sometimes countries outside the two blocs, for example, the non-aligned countries, played a role in reducing Cold War conflicts and averting some grave crises. Jawaharlal Nehru, one of the leaders of the NAM, played a crucial role in mediating between the two Koreas. So that was the role of Jawaharlal Nehru. In the Congo crisis, the UN Secretary General played a key mediatory role. By and large, it was a realization of superpowers' part that war by all means should be avoided, that made them exercise restraint and behave more responsibly in international affairs. Okay, then as the Cold War rolled from one arena to another, so arena क्या होता है ये ऐसे areas हैं जहाँ पर these two superpowers they were in direct confrontation with each other, but it did not cross certain limits. And limits किसके nuclear war वाले, ठीक है? So it did not turn into hot war, though it definitely caused a bit of destruction. Okay. The logic of restraint was increasingly evident. However, since the Cold War did not eliminate rivalries between the two alliances, mutual suspicions led them to arm themselves to the teeth and to constantly prepare for war. That is true again. Huge stocks of arms were considered necessary to prevent wars from taking place. And ये इसमें कौन सी theory लगती है? Again, logic of deterrence. Okay, so the first question is which countries played a crucial role in reducing Cold War? It was non-aligned countries, which were part of NAM, non-aligned movement. Okay, very easy. Next question: Who was an Indian? Who was an Indian who played a crucial role in mediating between the two Koreas? It was Jawaharlal Nehru. Option B. That also we discussed just now. Then question 3. Who played a crucial role in mediating in the Congo crisis? It is again given UN Secretary General. Option C. Then fourth, what were considered necessary to prevent wars from taking place? It was the huge stock of arms. They had to maintain it. Okay, it is mentioned again. So option C. Okay, now question number 29. Second last question. Okay, the Cold War threatened to divide the world into two alliances. Under these circumstances, many of the newly independent countries, after gaining their independence from the colonial powers such as Britain and France, were worried that they would lose their freedom as soon as they gained formal independence. Okay, cracks and splits within the alliances were quick to appear. For example, Communist China quarreled with the USSR towards the late 1950s, and finally in 1969 they fought a brief war over territorial dispute. The other important development was non-alignment movement, which gave the newly independent countries a way of staying out of alliances. Questions: why did many newly independent countries worry after gaining independence? That is loss of freedom. They worried about that. कि इतने टाइम से उन्होंने इतना स्ट्रगल करा है, they have finally gained freedom from the colonial power. And now they're going to lose it all due to the superpower rivalry. Okay, so it was loss of freedom, option B. Question number 2: what was reason behind the quarrel between USA and China, USSR and China? So the answer is option A, territorial disputes. It's not all of the above, just remember it. Okay? Question number 3: what was the perspective of the newly independent countries? What was their objective? And that was to stay away from the alliance, option B. Fourth, in which year China and USSR fought a brief war over a territorial dispute? And the option is A, 1969. Then, final question. The end of the Second World War is a landmark in contemporary world politics. In 1945, the Allied forces led by the US, Soviet Union, Britain, and France defeated the Axis powers led by Germany, Italy, and Japan, ending the Second World War. The war had involved almost all the major powers of the world and spread out to regions outside Europe as well, including Southeast Asia, China, Burma, and parts of India's northeast. The war devastated the world in terms of loss and human lives and civilian property. The First World War had earlier shaken the world between 1940 and 1918. So, question 1. In 1945, Dash forces defeated the Axis power. So, it was Allied power. ये हमने discuss पहले भी करा, so it is a really easy question. Question number 2. The war had involved almost all the major powers of the world and spread out to regions outside what? It was Europe, and the regions were Southeast Asia, China, Burma, and parts of India's northeast. So option is B. Question number 3. Which war had earlier shaken the world between 1914 and 1918? It was the First World War, option C, which happened from 1914 to 1918. Last question. The war devastated the world in terms of loss of human lives and civilian property, option B. Everything is mentioned in the passage. You don't have to worry about these questions at all. So thank you guys for watching this video, and if you like this video and आपकी बहुत अच्छे से practice हो गई, then make sure to subscribe the channel to get even more content like this. And इसका जो पूरा PDF is PPT का, it will be available in the description box below, the PDF, and there you can check it out and practice it, and also share this video with your friends, with your classmates, so that they can also get to know a lot of things and test their knowledge of the chapter, the Cold War era and non-alignment movement. So make sure to hit the like button and the subscribe button as well. Thank you.